right, bet. All right, we're the indie dudes. I remember that.
Dude, we're the indie dudes.
Oh wait, what are we naming this podcast? Or are we not giving it a name? We're just.
We could just say.
This is just our side. I'm ready.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Wait, do you want to do the intro?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name is Chris.
Hey guys, it's Noah.
And we're the indie dudes. So today we're gonna talk a lot about what's it like to have a relationship in college, and just trying to handle that stuff, and dealing with mental health in college.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like one of the most important topics nowadays, which is like understanding where you're at and just getting out for a moment from all your work life or other things that you're doing. So, but before we start, let's just ask each other, like, how are you doing, Noah?
Oh man, I'm doing good, dude. Spring break.
Yeah.
We're on spring break right now, both of us, man. If you're on spring break, smash that motherfucking like.
What the fuck?
I'm kidding. Don't do that. We're not
we don't mind it, actually. we love y'all, but you can smash that motherfucking like.
No, but for real though, man, I'm doing good. It's been a nice day actually. We're out here in Georgia, so like the weather's really nice. It's like we're having this weird 50s, 60s, so it's like cold.
Yeah.
But it's sunny, so you're hot.
Right.
So like you're constantly taking your jacket off and putting it back on.
So you're getting swamp ass at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Ice ass and swamp ass at the same time. It's not fun.
No,
but
that ain't fun. Yeah.
It's nice though, man. How about you? How you doing?
I'm all right, man. I've been trying to take it easy. Spring break, I've been trying to sleep more, especially.
catch up on the
Appreciate
sleep.
sleeping more.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing the new game called Apex. I think you've played it before, yeah.
Yeah. I saw that in the stars.
Yeah. It's funny because like I used to be a huge gamer, and now when I play like a video game, I can play for like only like 20 minutes max. I'm like, I can't do anything,
I feel you because it's just like that's me with TV.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I should be doing something else when I'm doing that, which it really isn't that big of a deal. I feel like,
Right.
like if you're enjoying it, you should play for like an hour or two if you want.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like a mental thing.
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
It's like, oh my god, how much can I play more before I start hating myself?
Yeah, right. Dude. Oh my god! Imagine how many hours we've sunk into RuneScape as kids.
Dude, it was worth it.
Yeah, it was, right? Yo. Sitting there picking flax all day. If you guys know what's up.
Dude. I got scammed.
Yeah, if you guys know what's up on RuneScape back in the day, dude, like 07, 08. Those are the OG days.
Yeah, I got scammed once. Like, I picked flax for like 3 hours, and I tried to like sell that shit for like 1 million.
Yeah.
This guy quickly switched that shit to like 100K.
Yeah, they used to do that.
I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
That shit was messed up. I was like 12 years old, and I'm like, this guy just scammed.
Dude, that's how you learn, man. RuneScape teaches you real life economics.
Some
Not really.
bullshit. Yeah. But yeah. Let's go into our topics.
Yeah, totally. So I think like you were saying earlier, we're gonna be definitely discussing like relationships, whether you're a college student or like even if you're just in your 20s, man. Like it's a weird time in your life.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like discovering yourself a lot, and I don't know, it's just a really weird time where you're trying to think about what you want to do,
Right.
mentally, and like who do you want to be with, if
Yeah.
you even want to be with anyone, and just like what are things that you kind of cherish most about. So we'll be talking about family, relationships, and that includes like friendships and romantic and non-romantic, basically.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna kind of talk about like how we deal with these things and kind of like how important they might be in our lives because we are students.
Right.
But even if you're not a student, you're probably working a lot, or you're just kind of like working on yourself. If you're like taking time off and shit.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that too. Like definitely like we're constantly trying to find who we are. And I remember in our last podcast, I recently posted on Instagram, that really resonated with like what I was going through.
Yeah, we talked a lot about identity and like identity crisis at this age, which is like super common. So yeah, we'll definitely be elaborating a little bit more on that. But yeah, definitely first podcast we were doing a lot of introductions. So we're hoping that you guys can kind of see that we're trying to build up a more topic-based podcast. So yeah, we're definitely going to be focusing on some points there for this podcast. Hopefully you guys are able to relate to what we have to say, I mean, we love to hear that stuff. So if you guys totally relate, let us know, man. Comments over likes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I want to hear what people have to say over a heart. So yeah, guys, don't be afraid to just like leave a comment in the comment section. Just like let us know. Like, I totally feel you on that, or like, I don't know, I have a different way of thinking about it. We love to read on that.
Yeah, we definitely love to read it. Like, it's the best thing when you guys show support and give us feedback. It's amazing.
Yeah, man. So let's talk about like friendships, man. Friendships and shit in the 20s, you know.
Oh, dude, we're not friends.
Fuck.
Who the fuck are you? What are you doing?
Damn, dude. How long have I known you?
Only a day. What are you talking about, man?
Damn, all right. I've known this fool since he was like 12.
Yeah, man. I was 12 and I popped out of pussy when I was 12.
All right, but for real though, what do you think, man? How important is like friendship to you at this age? Do you think you're like more of a like self-focused person? Like friendships are a distraction?
Nah, I don't think friendship is a distraction. Actually, I think being friends with someone or like having multiple friends is very important in just feeling good and having that validation that humans need. I think that friends, you know, sometimes they can be too much, you know, especially you can tell like how they react, and you know, some friendships can be really toxic.
Yeah,
in a way.
Definitely.
And like both of y'all don't realize it, and sometimes like when you guys try to communicate it, like that happened to me before. Like I had a friend in high school, and like it was definitely hard to like communicate with them.
Yeah.
And like what's going on, and like we just like fell out because like we were graduating from college.
Right.
Or not college, high school.
Right.
And I didn't realize like how friends can sometimes be like damaging.
Yeah, it can definitely do that.
Like they can demoralize you.
But I think you always learn, even when you are damaged, you know?
Yeah.
There's always a learning process afterwards.
Right.
So friendships can be like, I feel like it's they're never really scary things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because no matter how bad it gets, you always learn from it.
Right, right.
But yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, at the same time, friends are good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though they might do something bad or horrible, you know, you love your friend. I love my friends, you know.
Right.
I can't be mad at them. And if I see something that, like, really disturbs me, I would have to communicate about it and tell them about it. And be like, hey, I don't like this. But, yeah.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, actually, I wanted to ask you real quick, going back. You said something about how, like, it's kind of in human nature. So do you feel that, like, us as humans, like, it's in our nature to have that sort of bond? We need that,
of
that
course.
bond of friendship? Okay.
Yeah, like...
So you kind of think it's, like, a natural thing?
Dude, I'm, like, far on the side of, like, friendship is very important.
Right. I feel you on that.
Especially having a social life.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scientists research it, you know. We're social human beings. Like, our brains unconsciously make things. Like, when I yawn, you would yawn.
That's so true. Yeah. Yeah.
Unless, like, you're living, with a pack of wolves, you got friends, I guess. But...
Yeah, man, friends can be animals, too.
yeah. Friends are, animals are friends.
I totally see what you mean, though, man. Because, like, for a while in high school, I was definitely, like, shutting off all my friends, like...
For real?
Oh, yeah. I just kind of went through, like, a phase of, like, I enjoyed being alone, you know? It was fun. I liked being alone. And got to a degree where I was, like, I wanted to be sad. Like,
really?
I enjoyed being sad, yeah.
Wow.
And, like, it was just, like, a pretty dark time. And I think that's just, like, maybe some people go through with it. Maybe people are going through with it right now. But at the end of the day, like... I just kind of unconsciously grew out of that as I started hanging out with people more and more again, especially when school rolled around. So, like, this was during a break, like summer break, I believe. So, like, once school rolled around, I was kind of forced to, you know, have friendships. And then I realized, like, how great it is.
Yeah.
And I'm totally on the same boat as you, man. Like, I think friendships are essential. They're really good, especially, like, when you're stressed out or when you're, like, struggling or just, like... You see yourself kind of spiraling into a depression. The best thing, in my opinion, is always to just like
hang out with friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Start surrounding yourself with people that you enjoy hanging out with. Obviously, like if you have to force yourself to hang out with people and you end up not having a good time, when you do it,
yeah,
then you just need new friends.
right.
You know what I mean? Maybe those people just aren't right for you. I mean, obviously, sometimes you gotta force yourself to get out there if you're like in a bad mood or like
Yeah.
kind of in a depressing state.
I mean, sometimes like it's hard to like enjoy being with friends, even though you don't realize it because you're depressed,
yeah,
and that's hard. Sometimes it's like people have to deal with themselves,
right.
but that's always scary too because you're by yourself and like
Yeah, exactly.
your mind is attacking you.
Oh, dude,
like,
yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah, when you're depressed and you're like by yourself, you're just like feeding the monster. You know what I mean? It's very hard to like meditate on yourself when you're depressed because it's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your mind almost has like control over you, and it's saying, "Be sad, be worse, continue to think about these things." You know, so friendship is honestly a good distraction from those things. It keeps you away from those things, and it's personally how I was able to move out of a lot of like difficult like mind states in my life, especially at a younger age.
Yeah.
As soon as I started going to school, like I would just naturally come out of these bad states and just kind of overcome them. So yeah, but like going back to what you're saying, Matt, I think friendships are important in our 20s. Like, should definitely be social, I would say, because I don't know, man. Like, what are we gonna be doing in our late 20s and like mid 30s? We'll probably be too busy.
I don't want to be too busy, man.
I hope not too.
We talked about this in my last podcast.
Yeah. I don't want to be too busy too, man. I'm hoping to like keep this like friendship lifestyle alive as much as I can. Obviously, like work will become a responsibility if you start working, but like still, it's just like we have more time now than we ever have.
Right.
So
I mean, we got like 60 years of our lives, you know.
I mean, that's true.
We have like more time. I think like you shouldn't like work yourself too hard to the point where you can't hang out with family, friends, or like people that you love.
Right.
I think there's always a balance, you know. Like especially with me, doing like a lot of extracurricular activity. I think that my life shouldn't be catered to just one thing or like multiple things. I think that I should do like more than that, you know.
Right.
You know, make a connection with this stranger that I just met at a Subway shop. You know, he might be pretty cool. You know, he might be like a rock star, or like he might be just really chill, likes to smoke. I don't smoke weed, but I just thought people that smoke weed are pretty cool. But I don't know. That's just me. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, I don't know. Maybe you have like a different future and what you have in mind for yourself, but like I think you should like make sure that you do have time to spend time with people, you know.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah,
keeps you healthy, man.
Yeah, and try not to think like, you know, when you're in your 30s you're gonna work all the time, you know.
Yeah, that's very true, man. That's something I personally need to work on, to be honest.
Yeah,
I have a very like dark outlook on the future.
Yeah,
in terms of like working. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm just trying to work on, man. I'm guilty for sure on that.
Yeah. I actually had some thoughts about that too, like a couple of days back. And that's what made me think about what I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to think about that. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, maybe just focus more on the present.
Yeah.
If you're a guy like me and you're just like constantly stressed out about like the future and where you'll be, I mean, when it's times like that and it's not so overpowering, then like a good thing to do is just remind yourself that you're in the present now.
Yeah.
And you know, you still have this time,
Yeah.
and you will continue to have this time. You know, you don't know what's coming in the future. That's one of the great things about like this life is that we don't really know.
Yeah.
I feel like if you knew the future, that would ruin a lot of things.
Like, I don't know, like squirrels could be the president and we're like slaves to squirrels.
Dude, I don't know about that.
That was a pretty dark future, actually.
I'll join the rebellion.
Rebellions?
Yeah, dude. All right, but going from like friendships, where would you place like family? Like friendships, family, would you kind of mix them together? Would you even want to put them on a scale? Like, is that wrong? I don't know. Like, which one's more important to you at this age, you know? Maybe not important, but, like, which one is more in your scope right now? You know what I mean?
Right. Dang, that's hard, you know?
Yeah. Because, like, you can't be like, I love my friends more than my family because I see my friends more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, like, I don't see my dad that much anymore. He's, like, in a different state.
Yeah.
But I love him. You know what I mean? But I see you guys way more.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I love you guys more.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you guys are definitely more in the scope.
Right.
Right now, and I think that's also just because I'm young and I want to be like hanging out with you guys a
Yeah.
lot. And maybe, you know, maybe it doesn't have to do with like me being young. You know, just putting it out there. I mean, I don't know. What would you like? I guess where would you kind of like put family in terms of being in your 20s, like the importance of it, and like the effect it has on your mental health, being connected with your family?
I think like if you want to say, I don't know. I think people who have different family backgrounds, it's different for all of us. You know, there's a certain level of love that people would put into their family. And some families just like, you don't see the love, you know? You have more love for your friends. I guess it has to come from where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think when I make friends, I like try to make them as family, or at least do, or try.
So you kind of like mix the two together, like friendship and family is like they're all your family.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
Yeah, and like especially like with friends that like develop like a deep connection, or like I don't know, friends I've known for a while and like we still talk. You know, I think they're listed in the family category.
Okay.
You know?
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, you guys are definitely like in my family, dude. Y'all are family to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I definitely have a different connection, I would say, with like my blood family. But like, y'all are my family too, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. You guys are like the ride or die kind of guys, so.
Dude.
Yeah, man.
I would dab you up, but I can't.
Yeah, there's too many wires, bro. Don't risk it. We're gonna knock out the whole set. I don't know if you guys can see it, but like, we're on a really small wobbly table right now. We're still working on the studio, so keep an eye out for that in the next episode. Yeah, we might have a really cool studio. Like the location's just changing right now, but
yeah,
we're gonna try to get it.
We're gonna work on it soon.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I think like it's always hard to find that some family members aren't really family, like in an aspect of you know, how people would treat me in a sense, but at the same time we're blood related and it's very confusing. You know, like I can see how troubled this person is in my family. Right. Like, how do I approach this?
Do you feel like obligated to help them more?
Sometimes
because it is
I
blood?
do. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like,
it just feels like the right thing to do.
Yeah, and it's just like a burden, but at the same time, it's like I would do the same for me if I was in their shoes, you know?
That's what you're saying. Like, or you would think that like they would probably do the same for you.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I feel the same way, man, because it's like depending on how connected you are with your family, because I don't know, there's a lot of people out there that have really bad relationships. Yeah. Like me and my mom's side, I'm definitely not connected with her family that much.
Right.
I mean, I'm connected with her, but a lot of her family is very different compared to my dad's side, who I'm very connected with. But at the end of the day, I would still do things for my mom's side of the family because they are family and like we are, you know, we're somewhat blood related. Even if I don't know them that well, but I don't know, it's just like, it's a weird, I don't know if I want to call it an obligation, but like, it's just like this weird feeling I get. Like if I see a family member blood related, that is troubled. Like I just feel the need to help them. Right. And I don't know if that's just like the compassion that comes with the kind of family that I've been, you know, raised around. Yeah. Or is it like a scientifical shit, you know? Nature versus nurture. Yeah, something like that, right? Yeah, I don't know. But like, I don't know. I get the same thing with you guys. Yeah. But it's different with you guys. I don't know. It's like with friends, and I'm the same way with you. Like I would mix my friendship with my family because like y'all are my family. Right. But there's definitely still like a difference there. Maybe, and then maybe it's because like maybe it is the blood. You know. I don't know. But I feel like either way, it's still good to be connected with your family at this kind of age, because it kind of teaches you to, you know, have good family morals when you're older and you may have a family of your own.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you want to be good with, and you want to have a good connection with your family. That way that you can kind of pass that on to your generation.
Right.
You know? Because I would hate to, like, you know, have a family and not have them ever see, like, my cousins or, like, my brother or something like that.
Right.
Even if he was a very troubled person, I would try to show that you should still be compassionate for people that you're related to, because, I don't know, at the end of the day, there's a little bit of you in them, and I mean, I don't know, there's just a connection there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just important to have that connection at this age.
Like, do you think the same should go for, like, friends that you've known for a while?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
if they, like, totally feel like shit, and they, like, you can notice it, and, like, they're, like, projecting on you, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
When you've got that, like, good friendship, when you've been in it for so long, you can just start to tell, like, something's off.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what's up? I feel like that's just as important with your family members.
Yeah.
Like, if, you know, my brother was feeling down, and, like, you know, one of my close friends was feeling down, I would try to help both of you equally.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you guys are both, like, in my family.
Right.
And obviously, like, if the situation was much worse for one, then I would go to that one. You know, I would focus more attention on that. Like,
Right.
if, like, someone had a drug addiction versus someone who had a bad day,
Yeah.
you know, it's very like, I don't know the right word for it, but, like, there's a lot of things that can change the scale of it,
Yeah.
you know, depending on the situation. But when it comes down to it, like, I would look at it the same in the beginning to see, like, what's going on, family and friend, you know.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm not confusing, because I've been saying, like, my friends are my family this whole time.
No, I think it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand, like, where you're coming from with the severity of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like this person has a drug addiction. You know, like, this person really needs help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a drug addiction can come from, like, many reasons. You know.
Yeah.
This person might be hurt. This person might be trying to escape from something, or, like, it could be a multitude of things, and it's a very dark thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know a friend of mine, and he had so much trouble handling his stuff, and I actually had to help him out. You know, he had a bad drug addiction, and it was just, like, hard to watch because he lost his family, and it was
rough,
bad, and, like, it was just bad.
Yeah, that sounds rough.
So.
Well, that's good, man. That's good that you helped him through with that.
Yeah.
That's what friends are for. I think that's, like, kind of like the moral, you know, right? Is that's what friends are for. Like, we're here to help each other, man. We're here to have a connection with each other, because I think connection is a necessity.
Right.
Going back to what we were saying earlier, you know, and just humanity in general, it's just good to have connections with other people.
Yeah.
Spiritually, mentally, I mean, all kinds of things, man. Romantically, you know, physically, all that, dude.
Yeah.
It's just good to have that kind of connection there. That's good, though, man. That's good for you, dude.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's doing better, right?
Oh, man, I think he's in jail right now, actually.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, I won't say his name, but, like, I've known him for a while. So.
Well, shout out to him, man. Hopefully he's doing better.
Oh, so.
Hopefully he gets out of jail like him.
I think he's getting out this year. I don't know.
Shit, dude.
Yeah.
We won't go into it, man. We'll leave his privacy.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see, man. All right, so we've kind of gone over a bit on, like, friendship and family, kind of, like, in this day and age and, like, in this time of our lives, being these, like, young kids we are, you know. We kind of start, depending on who you are, like, I kind of start hanging out with friends more than family, just because, like, it just happens. I don't know.
Right.
But we kind of talked about how, like, it doesn't change the importance of family.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I think, like, sorry. Like,
No,
I
no.
remember what you were mentioning, like, practicing family, like, things. Like, that does help, you know?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That definitely, like, I've gotten some of the best advice from, like, family members, and, like, I've learned a lot about myself, just being with my family. especially on my dad's side. Like I recently went on a trip.
Yeah.
And we all kind of spent some time together. And I just learned a lot from them that they just kind of like, they kind of woke it up in me. It was just there.
Right.
And they kind of brought it out to me. And it was that, you know, I'm a very family person. And I really care for my family. And I would do anything to like make sure that they are good and healthy and happy.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that that's a lot. And I think that's in a lot of people, like those kind of feelings. And I think that when you hang around family more, you kind of get that brought out.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not saying everyone's like that, you know, but I think there's just a lot that's hiding in all of us, and we have to do things to bring it out, man.
Yeah.
And one of those things is just like compassion and caring for others.
Right.
And love, dude. And the only way to really like bring that out, bring those emotions out and seeing the importance of it is by being around it.
Right.
You know, family, friends, and, you know, even romantically, lovers, you know?
Yeah.
Because no one just, like, instantly knows how to love. You get that sensation when you meet someone, when you see someone. That triggers it, you know?
Right.
You got to bring it out somehow. You can't just, if you've never, like, felt love before, you can't just sit there in a room and think about something and be like, I'm in love. You know what I mean? Because you've never had the sensation before.
Yeah.
How do you know, you know? And that leads me to, like, my next point, really, is, like, lovers and relationships in this age, you know?
Right.
How important should that be? I mean, depending on your lifestyle, really. It really depends on your lifestyle. Like, if you're in school, would you say that you need to focus more on school? Like, relationships are a distraction? Or, like, is it all kind of there for you to learn as well?
Oh, man.
Yeah. Relationships are a touchy situation, guys.
Yeah,
We're about to get into some touchy shit. So... That's what we're all about, dude.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like, when you're in college, I remember, like, being in high school and thinking about going to college. I was thinking about, like, yeah, where the gals at, you know?
Yeah, dude, you were so naive, bro. You were so naive.
Now I'm like, yo, where's my wifey?
Yeah, man. I definitely had the same thought. Like, from high school, I'd be like, oh, man, I'm going to go to college. It's going to be lit, all these girls.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, yeah, waifu up, dude. Got wife up.
It's kind of crazy. Like, I'm only, like, 21, and I'm thinking about, like, oh, man, who's going to be my wife, you know? Like,
yeah, right.
But I don't know. I guess, like, when you have, like, a deep connection with someone, and, like, you can see them becoming, like, your significant other, that's, like, the strongest thing to ever feel.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
Because it's, like, this tense feeling of, like, it's not tense, it's very relaxing, it's very calming, and it's very, like, it makes you feel very light, you know? Like, you know you love this person.
Right. When you know.
And they love you.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
And, like,
when you don't know, you're very, like, tense, though.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, like, do I love this person? Do they love me?
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right.
When you know.
Yeah. And it's like, I realized that in college, you know, like it's, I think it's a very healthy look into relationships instead of just like going out and just fuck around, you know. I think there is an aspect of people. Sorry about that. I thought my camera just like stopped for a bit, and I thought I lost all the footage.
And then we deleted all the audio.
Yeah, we.
And then we undid that.
Yeah.
We found out we did record it. So
Yeah.
technical difficulties, man.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
We almost like erased our entire work for 30 minutes.
That would have sucked.
And we gotta have Interstar next time.
Yeah. We're gonna get a tech guy.
Yeah. So
But yeah, so going back to what you were saying.
Oh, about love.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I was saying like, it's the best feeling.
Yeah, you're kind of talking about how it felt when you knew that you were in love.
Yeah, and now that I think of it, like, love isn't just a person; it's a entity. You know, like when you see like the beautiful mountains when you go like camping, or like when you see the waterfall and you see like the liveliness of it. That's like love, you know, love for Mother Nature.
Do you feel like it's like a different kind of love, maybe? Like, there's like maybe different categories of love per se.
I think so.
Because like because I feel like you would maybe like categorize it differently, because if you were to say like I love you person, but then you're like I love you nature, it's kind of like you love them differently.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. You can't make love to nature.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Can't make love to animals, man. That's some bestiality shit.
Oh man, have you seen TLC?
No.
Check it out.
We talking
Got
about
some weird shit.
TLC got some bestiality.
Yeah, they got people like falling in love with things.
Oh, like their cars.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's out of the scope though. Like, I feel like they're like what you were saying. Like, love is kind of just all around us. It's like an entity. It's a spiritual thing. It's like a connection between you and something, you and that entity.
Yeah.
But I feel like it can be maybe like different depending on what the entity is.
Right.
And I feel like the strongest love is like that love bond that you have with others.
Right.
Like other human beings and like just like living things, you know what I mean? So I feel like there's definitely different types of love, and we say it a lot, but we don't necessarily know what we mean when we say it.
What do you mean?
Like, I think a lot of people say, I love this, I love that, I love you, but it's really hard to say something when you're not able to put it into words yourself. Like, if you sit there and you say, I love you, then you walk away and you're like, what do I mean by that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what do I mean? Why do I love this person? How do I love this person? What does it mean to love this person? And you definitely, it's like good and bad to think about these things because you don't want to overcomplicate things. But at the same time, it's curiosity. Like, what makes you love this thing? Is this something that's just like, it comes with you as a human being and you don't really know how to figure it out, and you probably never will, but you can do your best to describe it. Like, I think a lot of people, like, especially in books and stuff, people describe love in their own ways through art, like literature, expressing each other physically, mentally. It's just so complex, and it's such an important part of life. If not, debatably, like the most important part of life. Love is just like, it's there and needs to be respected, and doesn't need to be understood. I don't know. I don't know if it needs to be understood.
Is it easy to love?
I don't.
Or is it hard?
I think.
Because since it's very like complex to interpret what love is.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of just like love our parents so easily.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it's when after a while it becomes easier. You know what I mean? Because it's very hard to love someone when you first start falling for them,
Yeah.
Because you're having all these like emotions and your mind is racing and like you just don't really know what to do with these thoughts.
Right.
You don't know what to do with these feelings. But after a while, you start to recognize it more often, and you just start to enjoy it and you understand it more. But I don't think you ever fully grasp its definition,
Right.
And I don't know. I think that's just like part of the journey.
Right.
Through love and through life is.
I think that's like. Remember you mentioned about categories, and like we were talking about it before we started the podcast. Like,
yeah.
is infatuation a form of love?
Right. Or like lust.
Lust.
Is that an opposite or is it a part?
I think lust is like.
It's more sexual.
But I think it varies for the person. People that love sex.
Right.
They can love lust.
And I think they confuse that often.
Yeah.
You will confuse love with lust, and you think you love someone, but really you're just attracted to them. And been there, done that, man. Like you end up just not wanting to be with that person after you
It's like you love that you
know what I mean?
you love that aspect of them.
Yeah.
But you don't love this other aspect of them.
Right.
You start discovering more about them. Like, oh, I don't love that. That's
right.
No.
And you can't. You if you can't put up with it, then like, I don't think you love that person enough, and maybe you shouldn't be in this situation. This high of a bond.
Yeah.
With them, because I don't know, man. I feel like people will definitely confuse love and lust often.
Right.
And it's just like a dangerous path. to walk on. It really is.
And it's kind of fucked up too, you know, like, because some people might love the person by their looks, and like they're like 1 year into it, and that person still loves them because of their looks, and like the other person loves them because of their personality.
Yeah.
You know how messed up that is? Like, you realize, like, oh my God, they don't love me anymore.
Right.
It's like, what do you do? You know?
Right. I think that's a very important when you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's kind of like trying to go off on a tangent a little bit and go into relationships. I think it's very important to express at a certain point of time.
Yeah.
You know, don't rush into the things, but when you guys have like established that you love each other, you should express why you love that person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you might even discover things about yourself when you come out about it.
Yeah.
And you're like, I love you for this, this, and this, and you go, you know what? I actually love you for this and this as well. Or you're like, you know what? I don't know if this is actually love because I just think you're hot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now that I'm thinking about it and like I'm saying it out loud.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to establish with each other what you love about each other because like you were saying, some person likes this person because they're attractive.
Yeah.
This person likes this person because they like him as a person mentally. And that should be established.
Right.
For sure, to continue a relationship.
I think there's also like a complicated aspect of it too, which is like you mentioned earlier, like you start finding out you love this person more than that, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like that fuckboy or like one night stand area.
Yeah.
Like fuckboys suddenly become like husbands or boyfriend material.
Yeah.
And that's always interesting to watch, you know? It's you're hurt because of this, you know? You just don't want to be alone.
Right. They're so used to like one night stands and they find someone who's like actually meaningful in their life and they're like, shit, what is this?
Yeah.
I know what you mean. I hope a lot of people go through that because it's a good experience to see the difference between like love and lust or something else, you know. And it's a blessing for people to not have to go through that and just find love, you know, on the first go. Like a lot of people in my family, on my dad's side, it's not necessarily arranged marriage, but they don't date as much prior to marriage, you know.
Right.
They don't take as many risks, I guess. And it's a bit of a gamble, but when they find someone and they think that they do want to spend the rest of their lives with them, and it works out, then they didn't have to risk much. They didn't have to go through a lot of things to get to that. So it's a blessing in that sense, and the experience you get on the other side is also good, but
I don't know. I think that's always interesting with the arranged marriages.
Yeah. And it's definitely like not super arranged like traditional, but even going into like traditional arranged marriages, you know, it's a very interesting subject.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it's kind of we're kind of crossing like cultural boundaries here, but like if you try to put yourself in their shoes, it makes sense because the family just wants for the person to be happy and they want to have their input on it because they're wiser, they're older, they've been through it. And I mean, even statistically, arranged marriages have been shown to be more successful.
Really?
They last longer.
Wow.
Yeah. But sometimes they last longer, but there's no love in it. They just last longer because they have a family.
Right.
And now their children are their priority, not their significant other.
Right. Because the mother loves their child.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what
they have a father who supports
Yeah.
financially and also is a good father, but like maybe you don't love this person to death.
Right.
So it's different, man. That's kind of going into like marriages and stuff, you know, like why are people in marriage? Why are people married?
Yeah.
How long does love last? You know, is it infinite?
Right.
Can it be infinite or does it end, you know?
I don't think it ends.
I personally believe that it can last forever, you know?
Yeah. I think like when I think about love, like love definitely shows up in different parts. Mm-hmm. That's what I mean by like entity, you know. But for you, I think you're thinking about like love with a person.
Right.
I can see that too. Like, I think it's hard to look at, you know, with parents that go through a divorce and like they don't love each other.
Yeah.
But I think like they have a troubled past of like trying to get it over through like things that made them who they are, or like made them start hating each other.
Right.
And like from a personal aspect of me, it was hard watching my parents fight. Definitely, a divorce was hard to watch, and being in the United States, it was bound to happen because it's a 50% rate of getting divorced when you're married. And I think that's so sad too, with the statistics of being at 50%. People aren't happy when they're married.
Yeah.
Like, why?
It's the statistics are very scary to look at, to be honest. But it's good to know them still. And I mean, I feel you, man. I'm sorry you had to like go through that. I know a lot of people go through that now because the rate of divorces are so high. So it's like people see that more often now, and like children have to go through with that.
Right.
And it's very, very difficult. I mean, I was kind of born into a divorce, so I didn't really experience the fighting as much because they had already done that before I was born. But like, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, man. I think it's really making a lot of this younger generation not want to get married.
Right.
Because they see that there's no point. You're gonna end up getting divorced anyways.
Right.
Statistics.
Right.
But that's not a way to live, in my opinion, man. You still gotta try.
You gotta try it.
Yeah. You learn from the experience. If it doesn't work out, you learn from something. You know what I mean, man? Like, I know people who have been in many, many marriages until they find the right one.
Right.
And then they really stick with them because they've learned so much from the past marriages and they've learned what they don't like in people. And then they find someone who matches that.
Right. Right.
And it works out beautifully, man. And obviously, like, no marriages are perfect. Love is not perfect.
Right.
You know what I mean, there's always going to be, like, arguing and there's going to be differences. And that's just the way things are in humanity. Because no two people are identically alike. Unless you're, like, identical twins, maybe. But
it's...
Even
that's
then,
incest.
No, what? No. I'm saying, like, no two people in general.
Hey, man, we live in Georgia, so chill out.
Oh, my God. No, I didn't mean it like that. No, I think even, like... I mean, even if you're, like, an identical twin, the two twins can still, like, have two completely different personalities. Like, I think oftentimes they're very similar. But, like, I don't know, I feel like it's definitely still possible. And that's why I'm trying to say, like, I think every human being is different in their own ways.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do have that bond with someone, there's always going to be differences. That's just a part of it, you know what I mean? Love is like yin and yang, you know? There's a balance of dark and light within it.
Right.
Good and bad. Because nothing is all just good, you know what I mean? That just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So.
I think... Well, it's not... Yeah, I really liked when you said that, like, love is a yin and yang thing.
Mm-hmm.
And because I understand, like, I can come to love someone's flaws or, like, someone's, like, anything. Like, even though if it's bad, I love it.
I think that's, like, I think it's yin is the light one. I think that's, like, you keeping a balance.
Right.
Because what happens is a lot of times the hatred overcomes, the things you love about that person. And that's what, like, causes, marriages to spiral into divorce.
Right.
So if you're able to do that and, like, accept that, this person's not going to be how I want them to be. They're going to be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But I still love them and I still love all these good things about them, then there's a balance there. And that's good that you're, like, able to see that and you can, like, accept their flaws and stuff like that, and you can work on them together even.
Yeah.
Because relationships are, like, they're a thing with two people,
Yeah.
So you're not doing it by yourself, so you're learning from each other and you're helping each other.
Right.
So
yeah, love is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it's important, man.
Yeah.
In this day and age, like especially in our, like, time of our 20s, I think it's very important.
Yeah, especially with us being on social media most of the time. You can't really find love through it. It's a shot of dopamine that goes through your head. And I've noticed that too. I've been, like, on my phone a lot.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's a shot of dopamine.
Yeah, exactly, man.
And I'm like,
it's an escape too.
Like, I need to get out of my house.
Yeah, man. Socialize with people face to face. I don't know, depending on your personality, it might be different, but like I personally just don't get the same vibe when I'm speaking to people over the phone versus face to face, you know. It's just more personal, it's more spiritual, it's just like better.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Makes you feel way better.
Yeah, exactly, man. And that's, I don't know, again, maybe that's just us, but like I would still promote people out there to do that if you don't do that very often. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you enjoy texting over, you know, face to face, maybe push yourself to have more conversations and be more open to people when you see them rather over the phone. Because it definitely, I feel like it definitely strengthens your subconscious, and it just improves you overall as a person.
Yeah.
I would say, you know.
Like it builds empathy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all kinds of things, man.
Yeah.
Strength, courage, and just like you're more able to be a person that can have a bond with someone.
Right. Yeah. I think that's like, even going with like the college, you know, college in our lives, it's hard to see that because we're like working so hard.
Yeah.
We're doing other things, and like, is it important to have love when you're working so hard?
Right. And I would say definitely.
Yeah, it's a necessity.
They do, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If you're all work, like that sucks, man.
Yeah.
That sucks, man. I would not be down with that. Like, don't get yourself so focused in work.
Right. Unless you love your job.
I mean, yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, look, if you love what you're doing and you're like very passionate about what you're doing, or even if you're not passionate, but you're just like studying hard for a goal, you go at it, man. You grind. But don't forget, like, the love in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't like just throw that away to the side.
Right.
Obviously, like, I'm not saying that like you shouldn't study for 8 hours straight, and then like, you know, not like share that love around you.
Yeah.
It's like a timeline thing, you know, like, I don't know, like, just make sure that like you have a balance of workflow
Right.
and like social activities and just all those kind of things. I don't know. Dude, we're hitting like 50 minutes now, I think.
Dude, this is our longest podcast.
Yeah, dude.
But that goes to the other thing about, you know, managing. I don't even want to say managing because that's too corporate. I don't like the word time management or the word self-improvement or self-growth.
Yeah.
I hear it like all the time.
Yeah, we do hear that a lot.
From like people in business suits. I'm like, dude, don't.
maybe they're just tainting the word though. Because like, did you think about it poorly before you were hearing it from all these kind of people?
No.
So maybe they're just like kind of tainting the word for you.
Yeah, it's kind of. I think when people say, all right, so the topic we're gonna go into is mental health. Yeah. So that's the next topic. And like, with mental health, it takes time for the person to recover, and I think it might be different for other people, but it takes time for themselves to recover. And when people start bombarding their lives by saying, you're not doing this right, you got time management better, but you can say all the things you want to say, they may not even learn like 85% of what you're saying, you know? Because they're
so stressed.
They're so stressed, they're stuck in what they're doing. Yeah. I think the most important thing to approach your employee or like your classmate, you know, you're working with, or your friend, is say like, hey man, just take it easy, you know?
Right.
Don't even include the word time management. Because then you're like, you're blaming them, you know?
Yeah. That's what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, that's very important, man. Mental health is all about like keeping a balance again. I think it's the same thing with love. You need to have a balance with your mental health. Otherwise, you'll go crazy, man. You get stressed out like crazy. You'll start getting anxiety.
Right.
I mean, mental health is super important, and it's something that like we're going through and developing at this age. You know, good habits, bad habits, how to escape from bad habits, how to gain good habits. You know, how to have good morals, good ethics, all those things, and like how to just be more in control of your mind.
Right.
Because having poor mental health makes you, struggle more in life, and it's going to make you more vulnerable as a person to a lot of things, man. You need to be able to be strong because life is hard, dude. Like, so many things are going to be knocking us down, like, every day, all the time. Things are not going to always go our way, and we have to be strong enough to not let them ruin our lives completely when something like that happens. You have to have the mental strength to get back up and do what needs to be done, continue living.
Yeah.
And it's hard, man.
Yeah.
It's very hard, but it's good at this age to build that mental, that mental, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like shield, that strength, get that going.
And I also think it's important, if you definitely need help with having a better mental health, it's always good to reach out to friends or family or even like professionals. Like professionals that deal with empathy and like they know how to help you out. But for me, I'm a college student. I would rather hang out with friends and family.
See like a therapist or something.
It's very therapeutic for me.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Find your therapy, man.
Yeah.
Don't forget to experiment things, man. Like, I've tried therapy before, and like, just learn that it doesn't really work out. Some things you can handle without having to do that.
Yeah.
But I feel you on that, man.
Yeah. I guess I just like grew up from like trying to save money.
Yeah.
It's that part of like, I'm saving money if I don't do this though,
Right.
But I'm like, my mental health though.
Yeah. It's like, but therapy's too expensive. I'll just be depressed. Fuck that.
That's funny. That's really funny, actually.
Honestly though, dude, like, sometimes it be that way. Therapy is very expensive. Very, very expensive.
It is.
It can be hundreds of dollars for a session.
But it helped people a lot,
It does help a lot of people, man. If you need it, you should give it a shot, no matter how expensive it is. Don't let the price scare you, because
your mental health.
Mental health over money.
Yes. Yes.
Because money is just a physical thing, man. Mental health is like your person.
Yeah.
You don't want to be destroyed by yourself, and you don't want to be so vulnerable to where you're destroyed by other things so easily. So mental health is huge.
It's very important in college too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. College, in your 20s, even in any age, really, it's very important. But you need to start. I would say you need to start developing it at this age, because like in high school, you're not really developing your mental health. You're just like developing your mind in general. You're going through phases, man. Like relationships or like friendships. You learn which ones are important, which ones are not. You learn what you're into, what you're not into. You look back at your stupid phases, and you look at like future phases that will end up looking back on and saying, "Oh, that was so dumb." It's just a cycle.
Yeah.
When you get to college, when you get out of high school, when you get into your 20s, it's different.
Yeah.
It's very different. You start noticing that you're settling in this one, stage. You're not jumping from phases to phases.
Right.
And now that you've settled, you can start building on it, and you can start building on your mental health, because you can't build on your mental health when you're constantly changing, and especially even like puberty and shit in high school. You know what I mean? You don't got time for that.
Yeah.
So this is an important part of our lives, man. At this day and age.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
It's kind of scary. No, it's not actually.
It's
not
wild.
Scary. It's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's
man.
chaotic.
Yeah, very chaotic, dude.
Yeah.
Shit, good one. But that's fun, man. You know what I mean? It would be boring if like it was an easy thing to do to like get better mental health and to learn how to do all these things. And when you think about it, really, like mental health is really just kind of envelops all of our previous conversations.
What do you mean?
Because like it's very hard to love and have friendships and be around family when your mental health is not good. Because you're unstable,
Yeah.
And even if you're not fully stable, it's still good to push yourself to try to love and to try to be around people and your family, because it's definitely therapeutic on its own, and sometimes it just happens unconsciously. You just start becoming better, and you feel better, and you gain that strength. And mental health is really just behind all that.
Do you think like everything connects in a way in our topic, like family, family, friends, love, and mental health.
Yeah.
Like I think what you're saying is like everything connects.
Yeah. It's like a tree.
Yeah.
You know, they all just kind of connect in some sort of way. And
Yeah.
in the center, man, it's you. You know what I mean? You are the tree.
Right. I'm a human.
Yeah, dude, fuck up my analogy here. Yeah, no, but like, it all ties together, man.
Yeah.
I think it definitely all ties together.
Very important.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. What's the next topic?
I think that's it, man.
Oh, really?
That was the last one.
Okay. Well, we can conclude on this. So we're about to head out soon, y'all. I think we're about to get something to eat. And, play Smash.
Probably.
Play my Cloud main, you know? Like that K-pop looking ass. But, what we talked about, like, through the topics, I hope you guys think about it more, you know? Mm-hmm. Try to think about your friends, family, love, your mental health. Mm-hmm. Like, these are very important topics, especially when you're in college, you're busting around, you're busting your ass on this paper, or like you're 30 years old and you're in a corporate job and like you're thinking about taking Adderall to like just keep yourself awake. Don't do that. I mean, if you're prescribed by a doctor, do it. But if you're doing it just to get away for a second or just to help yourself out, like think about what you're doing, you know, think about your mental health, you know, solve that problem first. But I encourage you guys and myself, you two, Noah, to like think about this every day. Be mindful.
Yeah, definitely. Be very mindful every day, man.
Yeah.
Because we wake up a lot of days as zombies.
Yeah.
We go through the whole days as zombies, man.
It's like sometimes I don't want to get out of my bed, you know?
Yeah. Every day.
I'm not even mindful about it. I'm like, shit, I feel so bad, you know?
Yeah, man. You got to get out and you got to live.
Yeah.
Every day. And it's very hard to see that when you start having repetitive days, like when you're going to class and doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Or when you're going to work and you're doing the same thing. So I feel like it's very important, and maybe make a habit when you get up in the morning or maybe on your commute. Just keep your mind active. Ask yourself questions, you know, challenge yourself, and try to make it different each day.
Yeah.
Like I challenge people who are watching, you know, think about things that I guess make you think, like really think about it.
Or make you happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like think about what exactly makes you love someone.
Yeah.
You know, because it's different for everyone. And I would love to hear what you guys have to say, like in the comments. Totally share your answers. Like what makes you love someone? What is it? What is that sensation? Or is it even a sensation?
Yeah. And
do you believe in different kinds of loves? And just kind of think about things like this every day to keep your mind just flowing, you know, because when you're going to work or when you're going to class, it's not necessarily flowing. You're just doing a repetition and you're like a zombie. You might be grinding, but it's not like a spiritual thing that you're having with yourself.
Yeah.
It's just like a physical, mental studying.
Yeah.
It's just different, you know. It's very important to have that spiritual side as well, you know. Yeah, man.
Wait, what?
What even is that, dude?
Some like Korean thing. Like I think one of my brothers taught me it.
Is this from like some Korean drama?
No, it's like what they do in K-pop or something. They do this. They do this. No, like this. That. And this.
Alright. I mean, K-pop is interesting, man.
I'm getting into K-pop, to be honest.
Yeah, it's popular now too, man. I've been listening to I'll go into stores these days and I'm like, what? Hold up, this isn't English. Like, they're playing K-pop here. Oh, okay, all right. I even got friends that are into it now too that I would have never guessed. So, go into it, man. I ain't gonna judge.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, guys, I think we'll end it off there, man. Podcast number 2, our longest podcast so far, almost like an hour.
Yeah.
So if you guys stuck around and watched through the whole thing, man, props to you, dude. Yeah. Let us know if you watched the whole thing, because we'll know. Otherwise, you won't even have known that I asked that question, because you have to be at this point. So we'll know, man. So yeah, let us know if you've like stuck around to the whole thing. And I don't know, man. We're open to feedback. Like, how's our flow? Do we seem structured, or do we kind of all over the place? We're kind of still establishing our podcast style, anyways. But I don't know, man. We're open to feedback, dude.
Yeah, we're open. So we love it when you guys comment.
Yeah. Just give us any feedback, man. Answer those questions we talked about. I don't know, dude. Just be open to discussion.
Yeah.
The comment section is open to all kinds of discussions.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to say like you love to eat ass, we're pretty chill about that too. So we like that too.
Yeah, man. Be as open as you need to be.
Yeah.
Just be aware that it will be shown on like all other platforms. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys. I guess we'll end it off there, man. Let's go get some food.
All right, man.
All right, guys. Take it easy, everyone.